I'm now going to say a phrase that is probably going to trigger a couple of you. Post-nut clarity. Nope, sit down. It is no secret that I jerk off 8 or 9 times a day. And I do this because it allows me to be in a constant state of clarity. Okay, someone asked me a business-related question.
How much of my portfolio should be in crypto?
Let me run to the bathroom and get back to you on that. 64%.
When do you think the next recession is going to hit?
Uno momento, por favor. 2026 in America, next year in Europe.
Does all your money make you happy?
I said business questions only. If you're not in a constant state of post-nut clarity, you're in a constant state of pre-nut delusion.
Welcome to post-nut clarity, not pre-nut delusion.
Pre-nut delusion.
I've been asked, Brandon, from some people, where the hell did you get that name from? And that's where I got it from. Watching a damn video. Oh, man.
If you're not in a state of post-nut clarity, you're in a constant state of pre-nut delusion. It's the best. It's the best way to put it. It's the best way.
It is. What does it say? You don't even know if you like a girl until after you nut. Let's be real.
Listen. Yeah.
We're running on instinct. We're running on procreate.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Get it out there. And then you're like, shit, what did I just do? When you're single.
Yeah,
Obviously.
and listen, and then throw some like Christian morals into it, like you shouldn't be doing it type things, and make it really risque. And then it's just like, bro, like listen, the thought, it was, I don't know, maybe I had like some kind of thing going on in my head, because like the thought of this pussy is gonna send me to hell. And I'm still gonna swim in it. Boy, I mean, that's some ballsy shit. No pun intended.
It is, man. You're like, but then you fall back on all the teaching.
I know. After you nut,
Then all you gotta do is you gotta repent and be baptized.
Yeah.
Once you're baptized and receive the Holy Ghost, you just repent. Then I'm so sorry, I'm gonna do it again.
Well, then
just as long as you do it before you die.
Do it before you die. And if you're not, like you said, if you're not married, it's not sex if it's up the ass.
This is true.
You know you've heard it.
I have.
Anyway, guys, y'all in for a treat.
I know. It's going to be a wild show tonight, brothers and sisters. So I'm Joel Carter. We haven't been introducing ourselves. This is episode number 13. We've missed introducing ourselves. You know, the hope was that you started in the beginning. You're getting to know us. You've met some of our guests. But you already know that I'm Joel, and this is Brandon.
I'm Brandon.
All right. Brandon lives in Florida. Joel lives in Texas.
Sure does.
The greatest state alive.
It is the greatest state alive. It is the great. Well, yes.
Do you think Texas will ever secede from the Union?
No.
No?
No.
Ever?
No.
Ever?
No.
Forever, ever?
I mean,
no.
200 years from now, but like, no, God, like it would have to be something catastrophic. Like the U.S. would have to fall for Texas to be its own thing. You know.
Okay, I got a debate for you. Okay, I had this debate with a friend of mine and his wife the other night. Okay, so I ran into a Canadian. I think I maybe said this to you. I'm not sure, but he said he was very adamant about his patriotism to Canadian, but also to the U.S. He loved the U.S. So he knew that I was in the military. I was much younger.
Sure.
Not far out of the Marine Corps. And I'm in Canada doing some work. And he's like, if it wasn't for us Americans, North Americans, it would have been a lot worse. And it would be a lot worse over there. And I kind of took back and I went in my head and I'm like, what's this Canadian doing saying he's an American? And then I sat there and I was like, wait, he is a North American. He lives on the North American continent.
He's an American, yeah.
And so I said, hey, do you consider yourself an American? He's like, well, yeah, I'm a North American. I live on the American continent. Yes, I'm a Canadian citizen, but I'm a North American.
All day.
just as the Native Americans or Native American.
All
And I
day.
was like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's
all
pretty
day.
profound.
All day.
So then I started diving into this with some friends, and they were like, he's not American. I was like, wait, just like South Americans are South Americans, North Americans are North Americans, Europeans are Europeans, Asians are Asian who live in Asian countries, defined by, yes, they are Asian, and they live in India, or they live in China.
We just happen to
And
be United States in
we
America.
do not think about it. Now, think about our name. The United States is the name of our country.
That's what we are.
Of America. We are Texas. We are an independent, we're like the European Union. If you really want to break it out, we're the European Union of states, not independent countries. So we're unique in that aspect. But we are not just the Americans. We're not the only Americans that live in the Americans.
Yeah, news.
Canadians, the Mexicans, they're Mexican Americans.
Why is that so hard for people to grasp?
I was kind of confused at how it didn't get there, but they were like, well, they have to say North American.
No, they don't.
They can't say they're American.
No,
but I'm like, if we say we're American, it's okay to say that? We would have to be called North Americans as well. We have to call ourselves the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I am a Texan.
Yeah.
Who lives in the United States.
Yeah.
Of America. America is not the name of our nation. We don't own the whole continent.
But therein lies the issue, though. The issue is that we're able to live in such a secluded or an isolated existence from the entire world, to where even something as that, that should be as common as that, like it's not that they can't grasp that they're Americans, but in order for them to say that, they have to disrupt a pattern of thinking that is just instilled in us from not to make it deep, but I mean, like, that is deep. When you can't look at somebody from fucking Canada and say, yeah, you are an American too. You're not an American in the context of the United States of America in the way we see it, but you're from fucking, it's North and South America. It's where you're from. That's the kind of ignorance that we're kind of that we deal with on a consistent
I looked up, let me look it up again. What country names themselves the same as the continent they live on? I'm going to let you try to hit on a couple if you can think of some.
Well, like, let's see, like South Africa. Let's see. I guess India, huh?
India? Nope, that's Asian.
I mean, they're Asian.
They're Asia.
No. Yeah, I don't fucking know. That's the South Africa's all I got for you.
Australia, maybe, but nope.
Okay.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, I went to school in Beaumont, Texas, so.
Yeah. So Australia is on the Oceania continent. They're not even, but a lot of people call that landmass. But you got New Zealand that is on that same continent, and the Galapagos Islands and a few other island areas that are all on the same continent. So not even Australia. And then the closest is South Africa by the name South, and America, the United States of America.
Sure. Yeah,
but it's on the continent of North America, so no country actually calls themselves, other than South Africa and America, have it in our name. Yeah. That is the same as the continent.
Yeah.
In some way.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Well, but listen, this is how slick. First of all, I'm proud to be an American. I'm glad to be here. There's not many places that I would rather live as far as a consistent.
Man, no.
Now, with that being said, propaganda is in the fabric of our nation. And so when you think about just what you said, there's not many. We're the only ones, almost pretty much, that would name our stuff like that. Same thing with the Federal Reserve Bank. There's nothing federal about the Federal Reserve Bank.
It's an independent.
It's a privately owned
organization.
If you, in 20 years ago, if you were to go search, we had to use the telephone book back then. If you were to go look in the telephone book, you would not find the Federal Reserve underneath government entities.
No.
You would find them in the business pages. Swear to God.
100%. They just loan the money out.
They just loan the money out. It's the same shit that they did. It's the Bank of England. They've done this over and over and over and over and over again. It's the whole reason why we revolted. People think that it's about, it was about freedom and all of this shit. It was these tyrants wanted control of our money supply. But prior to that, we were on a fiat currency.
Exactly.
Yeah. Listen, that's a rabbit trail. We ain't got to get on it, but
there's a lot that we don't know, right?
Yeah.
About our history of humankind.
Yeah.
We can talk about that podcast that we talked about last week that you were able to listen to.
Oh, the Terrence Howard
podcast.
Bro, listen.
That blew my mind. That took me down rabbit holes this week.
Mind blown, Joe. Mind blown. He is all I have listened to for a week straight. I'd never, if you would have told me, if you'd have gave me said, hey, $1 million, I bet you're gonna sit and listen to Terrence Howard talk if it's not on Empire,
I know.
You're gonna listen to him talk for a whole week. I'd have said you're out your fucking mind. I'd have lost that bet.
Insane. Love to know that guy's test scores in school, and also his what do you call it? See how dumb I am? I don't even know the name of the test
IQ.
they do. The IQ test.
Yeah.
Wow, I couldn't even remember 2 letters.
It's okay. It's the one. It's the one.
I'm 2.5 glasses in. Come on. I get this, man. We got. We'll go back to Terrence Howard. We got banned off TikTok for 2 of our episodes that I had to. We violated their guidance on things,
really?
copyright thing. The very first one was I was starting the show, and you're the one who did wrong. You opened up a bottle of water, you twisted the cap off, and you started drinking it.
Oh, did it show?
AI flagged it that you were drinking alcohol or some type of something. Thought you were drinking and promoting alcoholism based off that.
There are women on TikTok ass naked, and do you mean to tell me they?
Yes, I put in a request for them to review it, and they let us post it. And then the very next one I did, the very next clip, they did it again. Do you know why?
Why?
I think I know why. Because in the title that ChatGPT gives me, because I run everything through ChatGPT, I take the show notes, I use AI, I do all the things.
Yeah.
Let's not fool ourselves.
Yeah.
That's where we are. So it gives me my title, it gives me the description, I give it the show notes, I do all the things, it makes it quick and easy. And my thing is with a podcast is it's enjoyable to do the podcast. I do not enjoy the post.
1,000.
It's not what I want to do.
Yep.
I want to make it easy, fast, efficient, have fun. That's it. I love talking to my buddies. I love talking to my guests. That's what I like. That's what I figured out about myself. I don't like the post. I do zero editing, zero anything. I don't do any of it. Now, maybe it's why we're not viral, but hey, that's where we're at. But in the show notes, it said talking about join us while we talk about this and that and fasting in recent cancer treatment, basically because it said fasting in cancer treatment. Revolution or things, something like that. And I was like, is that it? Did we say because cancer treatment we got banned? So I took that out of the show. I took that out of the post and they let it go.
People will never understand the
woes. Like, you've got to be kidding me. I've never been banned for anything like that.
The woes, I'm telling you, the sacrifices we make to put this podcast
on. we're dropping F-bombs. We're doing all these things.
Oh, bro, listen.
We're talking post-nut clarity, and they freaking say cancer treatment, fasting.
So I'm connected.
Be kidding me.
I'm connected to my mom on my social media, obviously. And so the last episode of clips that you put up, I just happened to have been dropping the F-bomb like it was just
and basically, And I'll tell you this: the AI who does the clips thought you were amazing in the show because 99.9% of the clips is your ass doing it 90% of the time, and me throwing out a little joke here and there. That's about it. I'm like, am I am I just the interviewer of Brandon? This episode, you were killing it last episode, man.
Well, listen, whatever. But so the clips that we put up, I just happen to be saying the F. First of all, let me see how to say
It's
this.
just a word.
I want to gather all my thoughts so I can make sure I say it all the right way. Those who don't know, I used to be a pastor. Okay, so this is why it's such a big deal to my mom, at least. Okay, but I'm trying to be like inclusive in all things. That means let my mom be on my Instagram page, right? So,
but never mind. What'd you say last week? Block them.
Block them. Block them. Block them. So I'm saying I guess I'm just saying fuck. And my mom comes to my inbox and she says, I just don't like the fact that you're saying the F word so many times. It's not you. It's not you. Man of you. It's man me. Of God. Man of God. She says, not you, man of God. But watch this. I was able to like click it, but I didn't open it. So she didn't see that it was red, but I read everything she said.
Yeah.
So this was, she sent that to me, I think maybe 5 days ago. So she doesn't think I saw it. So today she texts me. She goes, I really just don't think that's you saying the F word. I don't, you are a man of God. But here's the thing about it, Joel. And this is what I told her the other day. I hope I don't think she listens to my podcast. I think she would probably have like an aneurysm. But it's what I told her. I said, Mom, I've been cussing since 3rd grade. I told her this when I was down there for my sister's graduation. I said, I've been cussing since like 3rd grade. Like I learned this shit from y'all. I don't know where y'all have got, like, do y'all think I just woke up one day and was able to formulate all these wonderful cuss words together to make sense? Like, I learned this shit from y'all. And what I was trying to, relate to her is you not wanting me to cuss is you not wanting to accept me, like, in totality. And this is not a slam answer because they've known me, moms are going to be moms regardless. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, like, cussing is who I am. If you know me, I fucking cuss. It's what I do.
Yeah. And it's an expression of when you use it in a form of relaying a feeling. And expressing the elevation of it. Yeah. It makes sense. Yeah. It's just a word. I finish your thought, and then I got something that me and Jess talk about, and we do. Yeah. So, and if I can find the clip, maybe after I'm done rambling. If you guys don't know, there's a guy named Gary Vaynerchuk. He's very, very popular on social media. He was one of the first people to ever go viral on YouTube. But he's got, multi-million-dollar businesses and brands and all that stuff for advertising and marketing. And someone asked him, said, why do you use the F word so much? And why do you cuss so much? He said, because it's who I am. He said, when I hear, like, if somebody's talking to me about his employees, he said, I don't, in my heart, whenever I see my employees, I don't go, I really care for my employees. In my heart, I go, I fucking love my employees. That's the way I comprehend it. And that's the way that's the way it downloads to me. So it's authentic. And so she was like, do you cuss in front of your kids? She said, absolutely. I cuss in front of my kids. It's like, and me and Marie were talking about, it's like, if we had kids, like, how would we handle cussing? Because for me, I'll tell you what I think. I don't have kids yet. And you could probably, I think this is where you're about to head. For me, if I had a child and they were cussing, unless my child is like being disruptive and being like rude, because I think this is what I was telling Marie. You can be rude whether you use cuss words or not. You can be mean whether you use cuss words or not. So for me, whether you tell somebody, hey, you're ugly, or you go, you're fucking hideous, that's mean. It doesn't matter if I cuss or not. Right. It doesn't matter. The intent is to be mean. And I told Maria, I said, if I had a kid
I don't care what you're fucking saying on the playground and all that shit. Like, for me, what's the intent behind what you're saying? Are you trying to hurt somebody? Are you trying to be rude? Because I will whoop your ass over that. But don't have your fucking teacher call me because they heard you cuss on the playground. You fucking cuss at your house too. Don't call me over no bullshit like that. That's what I think.
No, it's the same. It's like when you create a barrier between right and wrong.
Yeah.
Kids want to tend to push the boundary.
Yeah.
And so anyone that thinks their kids don't say curse words to their friends or will say it later in life or just fooling themselves. Now, there are some people that just won't do it regardless. Now, they're living out of a fear of training of their past, right? But when you don't make it faux pas, you don't make it a big deal. And explain the usage of it when it's appropriate and when it's not.
Yeah,
you're gonna get a much structured and better teenager that understands. Hey, I can't use this at school,
or I shouldn't use this in school.
Shouldn't use it at school. I shouldn't use it toward my teacher. I shouldn't use it toward friends that I don't want to hurt their feelings, unless it's used in a way which is intent to say, like, looking badass. Shit. Fuck, you look good today. That there's a lot of ways you can use it.
Yeah.
In a form of flattery.
Yeah.
Now you can, just like you said, you can use it right or wrong. Fuck it. You're a dumbass or you're a fucking dumbass. It means the exact same thing.
It's the same thing.
And people don't just use curse words, which I don't say curse words. They're not curse words. They're just, we say adult words right now. There's adult words. But they're also words you just use in context with certain groups of people, friends.
Yeah.
But you don't do it to your boss. You don't do it. You wouldn't do it to your mom. I mean, and me and you, we can turn that on and off.
Yeah.
It's understanding and knowing your audience and teaching your kids that. This is going to benefit them in life. That goes with what to wear, what not to wear in certain environments.
Yeah.
What to listen to, what to bring up, conversations to have. It's just simple instruction that you have to teach your kids. That I just think in the 1980s and 90s, 70s, 80s, we just didn't get that instruction of like social instruction. We got, you're going to hell.
Yeah.
Like this or that, or that conversation was never had. Sex, drugs, rock and roll just wasn't in the conversation.
You just don't do it.
You just don't do it.
Yeah.
You don't talk about it, and you don't bring it up. And I think there's a lot of fear. I'm actually really proud of where we are now as a society. In a lot of ways, we have to take the bad with the good. So some of the good is, hey, don't hurt people's feelings. Love everyone.
Yeah.
Accept everyone. But also stand up for what you want. And then there's all the bad things that come with that, right? That people take it too far.
For sure.
But that's such a small amount of people, I think, in reality. It's the peanut gallery that we can just bring them along. Because the internet is extension of our small community, which is based off of what our minds can perceive as the amount of people that are in our life. You watch a movie, you see a show, you watch news. That's why people get emotional about it, is because our brains do not comprehend that you're not actually sitting right in front of me. There's one part of my brain that knows you're on a screen. There's another part of my brain that just says receiving data that I see my buddy Brandon. Yeah. And you're standing, for all it knows, there's a part that thinks you're standing right in front of me right now. It doesn't know you're on the screen. It doesn't understand that.
Yeah, literally, for the time that we're talking, I know that I'm almost 1,000 miles away from you. You're absolutely correct. I've never even thought about that. But I know I'm almost 1,000 miles.
I would walk 500 miles. I'd walk 500 more just to be the friend who walked 1,000 miles to stand right at your door. I mean, I would do that.
No, but you're absolutely correct. Like they just.
I'm sorry. You know me, man. I got to do the puns. I'm the pun master.
But I think one of the things have loved watching my sister grow up. And let me clarify that. I have loved.
Please do. I need you paused too. You paused way too long.
Let me rephrase that. My sister is 17 years younger than me, for those who don't know, and so I view her as almost like my daughter. Oh. And what's so cool about how she has grown up is that she does not have like the filters and like she just views the world through a totally different way. Like the honesty and the authenticity that she walks in is something that honestly, like, I envy that, because for me, and just like you, there were so many don't do this, don't say that, don't do. With my sister, all of that stuff was just because kids these days have access to so much. They can be exposed to so many things. You can't just tell a kid it's because I said so. Or you like, okay, you have the best example of that. Goddamn Judah lives in your house. That damn Judah will why you, why. He will why you to death. But it's been so cool watching her grow up, because my sister will stand flat foot. I remember she was like 7 years old saying, I'm gonna get my belly button pierced. Yeah. And my stepdad, my dad, I call him, he's my dad, but my stepdad, he was no. And I'm telling you, it took her 16 years. But when she turned 16, I be goddamn, she got that goddamn belly button pierced. You know, she stood flat foot. I watched her go toe to toe with my parents for 16 fucking years. She was so convinced that she's like, I don't understand why it's such a big deal. It's just a goddamn piercing. And she stood 10 toes down. And I swear to God, when she turned 16, she got that goddamn, like, I was just, I'm always so proud of her, because for me, I have always made decisions based upon what I like. Is this person going to like this, or is this person going to approve of this? She does not do that. It's like, this is what Jorian wants to fucking do, so this is what she's going to fucking do. You know, and
that's a power, man.
She's not rude. Power. Like, now it's not like she's out there like snorting crack or something like that. You know what I mean? But she understands context, because my parents did raise her in a way to be respectful and all of that stuff. But if she doesn't want to listen to something, she's not going to listen to it because you say she should listen to it. If that doesn't vibrate with her, she's not fucking doing it. And I just admire that, because I didn't grow up that way. It's not how I had it.
So I got a good way that I transferred my adult life with my parents into a friendship. And Riverside AI generator, make this a flip, because I think it's beneficial. I wish I knew this earlier, but I learned it from a friend, and it worked like a charm. Now, it took a while. So the idea is this: your parents, when you're older, still will majority of them identify themselves as your parent, which they are, your birthing parent, but parenting is done. Yeah. You're an adult. You're living your independent life. And a lot of people have it's very hard for them to let go of that control, because they identify themselves as your mother or your father. And that's something that they are to a point. And I know this is going to be a little controversial, but it releases. You still have a mother and father, but they are not your parent anymore, in the sense that they are there to tell you what to do or control your life. They are there to convert into parental guidance, guiding you, not your parent anymore. Okay? And I'm going to get probably some kickback.
I'm with you.
I don't care. Because
talk about it.
My dad said this to me. My dad was a brilliant man, but not the most book smart person. But I remember him telling me at 18 years old, look, you're a man now. I'm still here for you. I'm still your father. but we're going to transition into a friendship.
Yeah.
And what that looks like is I'm going to give you advice and you can take it or leave it. But know that I'm always here for you and I'll always have your back. And if you're in trouble, like I'm there and I'm going to give you my advice, but I'm not going to tell you what to do anymore. Now, my mom didn't know that conversation happened. he had that conversation with other siblings, right? So they understood the sentiment that he had. He gave advice on marriage, friendships, all these things. Really great social guy when it comes to that, making friends and keeping friends, but he didn't have a lot of friends because of the marriage it was in, which I love my mom to death, but she was just a different person. She was an introvert in all ways, except for family time. But it took me a while to realize, how do you do that to a parent that doesn't want to relinquish power? Because they'll continue to want to give you advice or tell you what to do or make you feel bad about things you're doing. You will fall back into your childhood ways and you will want to buck back. So what the friend told me is like, hey, listen, treat your mom and dad as a new friend, a brand new friend that you're just going out to dinner with for the first time. Someone you meet at a restaurant, at a bar, someone you meet through mutual friends. Brandon, me and you first meet, and you come up to me, and you're like, I believe in aliens, and the Anunnaki visited me last night. Do you think I'm going to look at you and be like, are you fucking crazy? Like, no, I'm going to be like, what? Are you serious? Tell me more. Or you tell me, hey, I don't like the way you're dressed. Okay, like, I appreciate your honesty. That's cool. And then you move along. So what I had to do with my mom and dad, especially my mom, is accept what she was saying, but as a new friend. Hey, that's actually really good advice, Mom.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think about that. I'll get back to you on what I'm gonna decide.
1,000%.
And then go do whatever I'm gonna do because I'm gonna do it regardless.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
You're right.
And then if it comes back up, you say, oh, I did some more research and I decided to do this because that's what I was going to do. And then if they come back again, well, I told you shouldn't do that. Well, I appreciate your point of view.
I'll take it into consideration.
I appreciate your point of view. Hey, we're going to go to dinner. Just shifting the conversation.
Yeah.
It never engage. And it took like almost 6 months, a year for my mom to become my friend. But I had to be the puppet master of our relationship because she wasn't going to be the one that shifted herself out of the parental, the mom role.
Yeah.
I had to shift her out slowly by not engaging. Engaging with the argument and take myself out of the child position because I knew, and people just fall right back into it. They argue with their parents. There's no need to argue. Be mad in your head later. Don't let it out. Be in control of your emotions. Don't let it out. Yell it in the car. Tell it to your partner. Tell it to your other friends. I don't care. But don't give the person who's engaging with you in that moment the fuel to keep going. That's all I got to say about that.
No, you're 100% correct. And it wasn't until I learned that I started really having and like you said, they kind of, because what you're doing, you're setting up boundaries basically.
Yeah.
And you're letting them know without just flat out saying, I can do what the fuck I want to do.
Right.
You're letting them know, listen, it's just not your place anymore. And I think what's really hard for her right now is the public display of what she already knows. Like, I think she's coming to peace. Like, Marie was talking to my grandmother the other day, and my grandmother said, you know what? I'm so glad. I said, I feel like, she said, this is what Marie told me. She said, I feel like he's made his peace with where he's at. And I feel like he's made his peace with God. And so wherever that lands him, I'm fine with that. I'm just glad he's at. And so for my mom though, because I have been so public, bro, I used to lead worship for 12,000 people on a damn Sunday. And so And so that's such a pristine image that a parent can show to other people. Like, look at my son. He's not doing drugs, psych. He's not drinking alcohol, psych. Like I said, allegedly, right? So like it's those are good things. And so when that persona is now compromised and it's on a public display now, like I think
it's like what it rolls back to ego. So it's the parents, and it's every person has the ego. Let's say you train someone at a job and then you see them at work and they're fucking up.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, I didn't teach them that. It's the same concept, right? I didn't teach them that. They're not doing what I told them to do. They're representing me.
Yeah.
Which we do represent our parents.
We 1000% do.
But at the same time, we have to represent ourselves.
Yeah.
Truly. And be independent, true adults. And there is a time period, I think, after you move out of your parents' house that they have to overlap, right?
Yeah.
Personally. They overlap in a way that is an easy transition into you as an independent person.
Yeah.
Look at this. I don't like Joe Biden. Let's be real. But it's not fair for everyone to associate his son with who Joe Biden is.
He don't even associate himself.
That's what I'm saying. His son just got convicted in the court yesterday, I believe it was. He got found guilty of all these charges.
You know, right? I think it's crazy.
It's like
you can get 25.
He's a 45, 48. He's a 48, 50-year-old man.
Yeah.
That was birthed by Joe Biden. But Joe Biden has nothing other than the fact that he covers up a lot of his shit. And yes, he probably did take on a lot of things, and the big guy. So there are things.
What parent doesn't?
But his social things that he did, him being on drugs or this or that, and him getting in trouble, has nothing to do with Joe Biden.
Nobody. So to your point, the Bush daughters, they did all kinds of shit when they were when he was the president, and you know,
I mean, we were young, but
we picked on Chelsea Clinton because she wasn't cute, but she wasn't doing all that shit.
Well, let's be real, she was below cute. My God, I don't get the Bill Clinton thing. Find me one woman that's like, that dude was hot.
And well, hold on, guys.
No.
I think Bill Clinton.
No.
Well, hold on. No homo, but no Diddy. That's what the young people say.
No Diddy. I like to back it up.
Listen, I think in his prime, I think that old Clinton was a.
Pull a picture of him up. Pull a picture of prime Clinton. Show me prime Clinton.
Hold on. I'm going to type it. Hold on. I'm typing Bill Clinton in his prime. Let's see what comes up.
Yeah. Let's see this. She having a gay boner over there? Like, what's up? Show me the picture. Let's be real. No. There's no prime here. He got a tiny mouth. Itty bitty mouth. It don't match his face. No good bone structure. He ain't a stud.
This one. This is the one.
Is that one?
Okay, so look, this is proof positive.
No. That ain't even him. But that's
what I'm saying. This is before the aliens took him away and put a clone in.
That's him. He still looks like a little Weasley guy. Look at him.
Okay, but hold on. If we're gonna do that,
well, I could say the same thing about freaking JFK.
Hold on. I'm just saying, if I was the president of the United States, this is not what was about to get me impeached.
No. JFK was probably the best of them all. He picked him. He was a picker.
Let me get off of this before we get canceled. Jesus Christ.
Is that her to the left? Wait, is that her to the To the right.
Let me go back to
yeah,
it.
what's she look like now? And slide your screen. Make sure we can see it all. Let's see. Is that her now?
It's her now.
I mean, she's better looking now. I mean, let's be real.
But that's what I'm saying. Could you
But that's
imagine?
90s haircuts. And
Could you imagine being Bill Clinton? It's like, I'm about to risk the presidency for this.
for this. People that fuck down, I have no respect for. Let's be real.
I mean,
Not that you should fuck up, but I mean, if you're just that person, don't fuck down.
God. Oh God.
I'm sorry.
Let me tell you something. Listen, I'm so grateful for to have idiot friends like you. As I'm on this podcast with you, Myron sends me this idiot, this fool.
Is that 50 Cent or Tyson mixed?
It's Conway Fitty.
What? Conway Fitty.
Oh,
You want to see? Hey, you want to see a handsome man? Look this movie up, and we're gonna play a little trailer of it because we're gonna talk about it because it's a damn fucking good movie. And if you ain't seen it, it's the next one you should watch. It's called Hitman. Official tease on YouTube. Let's pull that up.
Hitman.
You're gonna love this. Hitman. This guy, he's hitting it the last few months. Yes.
The Netflix.
What's his name? Yes.
His name is
Glenn
Powell.
Glenn Powell is a rising star, man. This dude's gonna be big. I think he's taken a lot of roles from Armie Hammer. That like the controversy of the Armie Hammer guy. You heard about all that?
Yeah.
A few years ago. Yeah. Cut that body, want to eat the hearts and shit.
Yeah.
This guy is rising. Okay. That's a handsome fool right there. Let's be real. All gay boners.
Wait, so you think he's more handsome than Bill Clinton?
Yes.
Okay.
Watch the trailer of Hitman, that new movie. Me and Jess just watched it.
Okay.
It is hilarious, but also sexy. Well written. I'm just getting the plug. I'm not being paid by Netflix. But Netflix, if you would like to pay me, I will take your money.
He's not hotter than Bill Clinton.
Man, that dude's hotter than Bill Clinton. Please, let's take a poll on this. I'm going to take a poll on this podcast. If you listen to this podcast
Who's hotter, Glenn Powell?
and you get to this, who's hotter, Glenn Powell or Bill Clinton? And I'm going to put that in the Spotify playlist poll. Glenn Powell or Bill Clinton in his prime? Let's be real.
It's prime.
Play the trailer. Play the trailer.
Okay.
You got to watch this.
Okay,
You got to watch this trailer.
Let me pull it.
I'm telling you. And his co-host is... She's something.
Oh,
What do you
God.
say?
Let's see. Okay, here's this.
I'm going to wear my hat next week, Brandon.
Well, the only reason again that I have this goddamn hat on is because otherwise I look like 1865. Look like the Emancipation Proclamation.
I'm gonna wear my black one next week.
You should.
Okay.
Oh
Do
God.
the teaser. Official trailer.
No, I don't buy it. What? You're not a hitman. You can't be.
Look at that handsome devil.
I tried looking you up. Nothing.
No, Bill
It's like you don't even exist.
I guess I'm just your fantasy.
So what's the biggest difference between the real you and your occupation?
By the way, my name is Gary Johnson, and I'm a fake hitman.
The true story of a fake
Realize not
hitman.
everyone fantasized about the same hitman. Every sting operation was a performance.
This is serious. I am in service business.
And each arrest was like a standing ovation.
Okay, Daniel Day.
I had it down to a science
Sounds lovely.
until things got, well,
Ron.
complicated.
Madison.
Come on.
We're expecting heavy turbulence.
Oh, that's a very sexy scene.
Degrees for impact.
I'll watch for her. I wish it'd be better if it was Bill Clinton.
Oh, come on.
Remember the lady came in trying to have her husband killed that we let go?
No, that he let go.
Yeah, her husband was just found dead.
I'm sorry, what happened?
Glenn Powell. Watch, he's going to get the award for Sexiest Man Alive soon. I'm telling you.
From my perspective, you're getting a little sloppy. You think you're Gary? Or the hitman?
My name is Gary Johnson, and my simple question for you is, who is your hitman?
Boom.
We'll see.
Great movie. Great movie.
Yeah, but okay, so but see, that's I would risk the presidency for her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yes. Okay.
Monica Lewinsky? Absolutely,
No.
absolutely,
Absolutely not.
I mean, Hillary looks better than Monica Lewinsky.
Let's see.
I'd be like, girl, Hillary, come in here with that pantsuit on.
Who was the sexiest president?
They'll say
Watch.
it was Bill Clinton or JFK.
They're going to say Bill. Presidency of the United States in order of hotness. This is a website.
JFK, Bill Clinton.
Oh,
and
no.
Obama.
Oh, Franklin Pierce has number one.
Boy, he doesn't count. They weren't even taking pictures. They had to paint
James
him.
Polk, number two.
Same thing. They had to paint him. He doesn't count.
John F. Kennedy, number three.
Okay, he was taking pictures.
Theodore Roosevelt.
People like him because he was burly. That's all.
He had he looked like a manly man.
Yeah, for back then, that's what they liked.
Ulysses Grant, S. Grant. You got to say the S.
It's just because he won. Because
that's number five.
He won.
Guess who number six is? Barack Hussein Obama.
Hey, Barack was a stud.
He's a handsome guy. He could use some lip injections, but let's be real. A lot of people can. I'm just saying.
Well, no,
he could use some lip injections.
I've never
maybe a little bit of cheap raising.
It's okay. Never really looked at his lips. I never looked at
It's fine. That was a terrible Obama impression.
Obama kind of sounds like Elvis.
James Garfield, kind of baldy.
That's
Good
what I'm
beard,
saying.
though.
No, this is
George Bush is number 8.
Where are you reading this at?
Bill Clinton ain't even in the top list.
If you put George Bush over Bill Clinton, listen.
George Bush, number 8.
No, did
number 9. Oh my God, Franklin D. Roosevelt is number 9.
You're gonna say Jimmy
Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson. Ronald Reagan is number 12. Then Bill Clinton, 13.
First, listen, God.
Bill Clinton's number 13.
How is George Bush in front of Ronald Reagan?
But I would say Ronald Reagan should be number 1. I mean, he was a freaking movie star. Did you see him as a young man?
I did see him.
He was handsome. He was a handsome devil.
And listen, George is not an ugly fella.
No, George, he frowns, but he's got this going on.
Who looks better, George or Bill?
Maybe a little younger George. Pull up a young George. Okay. I bet he's a stud.
Okay.
I bet he's a stud.
George Bush. I'm gonna do the same shit in his prime.
You're gonna die on this hill, Brandon.
Gonna wait for you. Wait. Well, let me emphasize W because they've got his daddy up here.
And then pull up a Ronald Reagan in his prime. Because I'm telling you, Ronald Reagan is probably the number 1.
I will give you that. A young Ronald Reagan probably looks better than a young Bill Clinton. I'm not gonna.
Oh yeah. Or a young Barack. He'd probably be number 1.
You're not gonna fucking tell me that President Garfield looks better than Bill Clinton.
That's what they said.
You're not gonna give me that. I don't give a fuck.
All right.
Okay, here's old
Garfield he's got piercing blue eyes and he looks like he'd murder you.
In his prime, here we go.
That's his prime?
No.
Where's the young one? Where's the teenage?
Let's see. Teenage George.
We saw a teenage
he looks the same. Like he
does kind of look the same.
Yeah.
Nah, he's a dork.
Yeah. Bro, look at these eyebrows. What in the Sanhedrin Council is going on here?
Whoa, caterpillars. two opposing caterpillars.
Oh, is this Barbara? See, I'm not gonna get on Barbara. I'm not gonna get canceled because I like.
No,
Barbara.
I love Barbara.
I don't have a problem with Barbara. Let me. I'm
No,
not.
she's great.
Barbara, actually, she's a good-looking.
Listen, all presidents' wives are off limits. Let's be real.
All presidents' wives are off limits.
There you go. No.
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan, young Ronald Reagan,
Young
the
Ronald
movie
Reagan.
star. Let's be real. That is number one.
Young Ronald Reagan. Let's see.
I cannot think that Teddy Roosevelt or Franklin D. Roosevelt is number 9 before Ronald freaking Reagan. Let's be real, people. Who's making this list? Some liberals.
I mean,
some crazy California liberals.
I mean, I guess he looks good for like for that time. I guess.
Oh, look at that handsome devil. That number 2.
He looks like he says the N-word.
Number 4, black shirt.
Yeah,
he looks like he doesn't.
He looks like he says the N-word with the hard R. Nigger is what he looks like he says.
I don't know.
Look at that.
He's a good man.
Look at that.
He's good. He was a great man.
Voodoo economics.
I think he got out of movies because he was like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I said nigger. He got out of being a bodybuilder, to be the governor of California for the love of the people.
He just traded one form of entertainment for another. That's all it is.
Did you see the documentary of him? It's a great documentary on Netflix.
On Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yes.
I did.
It's actually really, really, really good.
I watched it.
Grew up in Austria. I mean, his whole family, bodybuilding wasn't even a thing. His parents didn't want him to do it. His dad just kind of was a good dad, but didn't want him to work out. And man, he rode his bike or walked miles a day just to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Figure it out. No, he's got an amazing story.
Well, but and to your point on that, not to try to bring something more serious into it, but you were texting me just a little bit about some of the things that you had going on over the last couple of days, and I text you back because we were watching that Terrence Howard interview, and his whole thing is the universe is that every action has to have an equal and opposite reaction, and I think when you see somebody like Arnold Schwarzenegger who had so much adversity that was against him, like the reason he's such a larger than life figure is because the amount of adversity that he had, this is the equal and opposite reaction.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, nobody becomes great by not having any type of huge hurdles that you have to, like, even you, like, let's take you for instance, like nobody, I think you are one of the most incredible people on the planet. But like, you're not a movie star. Like, people in Australia don't know who you are.
But I had a lot of adversity as a young man. I mean, with dyslexia.
Right, but watch this. All the things that you've dealt with have caused you to be an incredible father, an incredible husband, an incredible provider, an incredible employee at the place that you work, an incredible friend. Like, these are you don't look. When you're going through the things that you're going through, you don't really realize that these are the things that make who you are.
Yeah,
when it's all said and done. And so I've had to really change my mindset about, these are things we know subconsciously, but I've really had to change my mindset about like all of the shit that we go through. I'm realizing, and that fucking Terrence Howard interview has just blown my mind, because it's like, yes, in order for you to get something greater, like there's got to be this adversity.
Yeah,
that's there. The bigger the issue so take, for instance, Elon Musk. Elon Musk, before he started Tesla and all of that shit, he was a part of PayPal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the founders of PayPal.
The issue that he solved was massive. He solved the issue of people being able to make payments online and all of these other things that he was able to do through PayPal. And as a result, he made $250 million. Like, it was a big problem, and the reward is equally as big because of how huge.
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying to say. And
Well,
so,
let's go back to the Terrence Howard example of magnetic forces, a
Yeah.
negative and positive, or opposing the same forces to
Yeah.
create basically a vortex of swirling things.
yeah,
If you have one magnet without anything to attract or oppose, what good is it?
nothing.
You couldn't see it. You won't experience it. It has no effect in it unless it has something that comes close to it that's opposing, or it attracts to itself.
Yeah.
Right?
There is no rich without
Positive
poor.
things or opposing things that it will then propel forward. These high-speed trains use magnet systems
Mhm.
to get them up to top speed,
Yeah.
to propel them over 200 miles an hour. And so you won't see the effect unless you come through a force of reckoning.
Yeah.
You can't to see the outcome, you have to have things that come together that can be opposing or attracting. And until you're like, shit, that's attracting to that.
Yeah.
You can see the positive of being attracted to someone who's magnetic. You can also see its power when it's used in the opposite force.
Yeah.
Two negatives, two positives. They are opposing.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
And so
you need. There is no Batman without the Joker.
that's it. There is, yeah, exactly.
Nobody would even care about Batman. He would serve no purpose.
It's every superhero movie that ever existed. Now, this is something I always say. You won't have good-looking people unless you have ugly people, because if everyone's the same, or it's also economics. If everyone gets $1, then $1 is the new zero.
Right.
So without classes of people, without the ebb and flow of money, I heard this recently. Someone said,
Hold
it was
that
in a
thought.
song.
I need to tell him to go pick Marie up. Hold on 1 second.
All right, I'm gonna get some wine.
Never mind. They already got her. Anyway, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's the same thing. Anytime you have a new norm, that norm doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. If everyone's skinny, then nobody's skinny. We're just normal. If no one's good looking, or everybody's good looking, and no one's unattractive, then nobody's good looking.
This is what it is.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
If everyone's rich, then classes don't exist, and there's nothing for you to look for to do positive things in a society that builds growth. Now, to an extent, it should be fair access, all the things to be able to get wealth, but it's not like, I don't know, this is just my view. Rich people that get rich are not taking money from poor people and taking it out of circulation.
I agree with that.
It's we're living way above standards. Every single time we move in a forward direction as a society. How many people do you think in America don't have electricity or AC now?
Yeah, or at least
versus
have the ability to
50
go
years
somewhere.
ago.
Yeah.
A cell phone, some food on the table. Like, we're just in a better place. We just really are.
Yeah. I agree with that. But there is no. I think, and what's so funny is that listening to him on that podcast with Joe Rogan, which, if y'all haven't listened to it, listen, we don't have any kind of affiliation with these guys, obviously, but you should do yourself a favor and go listen to his 3 hours plus of him just going off, of just going on. Somebody said that Joe Rogan was on the Terrence Howard Experience, but what really got me with that was, like, as he's talking about these things, like, you really realize how much of a role understanding the way the universe works, how important it is, because I think ultimately where we are in our lives is just a mirror of what we have put out in the universe when it's all said and done. Like the things that we're overcoming, the things that we've accomplished, all of these things, like it's just a reflection of where we are and what we're trying to accomplish when it's all said and done. And it takes all the woo out of it, really. I think it takes all of the guesswork and, you know, all of the, you know, religious stuff and all that stuff, and just brings it down to the reality is that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And, you know, and I think, like, when you see someone like Donald Trump, who's, again, larger than life, a huge figure, imagine all of the people can say what they want, but imagine all of the adversity that you have to go through in order to become a Donald Trump, in order to have a net worth of $1 billion, to own a private jet, you know, all the things that he has. Like, do you know what kind of problems you have to be solving? Do you know what kind of gonads? I don't get, even if he didn't do everything right throughout, the courage to go out there and say, I'm going to go fucking get this done. I don't care if he got a $1 million loan from his dad. Sure, fine, whatever. Fine. There's plenty of people who've gotten $1 million loan from their fathers and have squandered it. This dude has gone out, love him or hate him, and he has fought against big obstacles, and this is the fruit. The rewards are big because the obstacles are big, is all I guess I'm trying to say. And I think it should just be noted that when you see people in life, regardless of where they are, regardless of what you think about them, where you may land politically, where you may land spiritually, like, every person has a story. Every person has there's a backdrop, there's a beginning and an ending to this individual, and you just never know what people are dealing with, what people have had to go through in order to become the person that they are today. Nobody looks at you, nobody looks at me and knows every single thing that you had to fight against in order to be who you are today. Like, nobody knows that I've had my brother's dad had put a gun to our heads and said, hey, you told my mom, hey, if you ever leave us, if you ever leave me, I'll shoot you, and I'll shoot him, and I'll shoot. Like, nobody knows those things. But if it weren't for those things, like, this is the fruit of who you become. I just think shit makes you a better person. And I think whenever you stop, like, becoming a victim, and I think it's Tony Robbins that says, when you stop saying things happen to me and start saying things happen for me. You know,
words of power, man.
They are, man. They
are.
Taking
certain words like this, exactly what you just said. This happened to me. I'll never do that. This problem, take problem out. I have a situation.
Yeah.
This situation is this. I'll never do that. Turn that into I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
This happened to me. This happened for me to be who I am.
Yeah.
You can turn it. Yes. Are they negative things? Are they positive things in your life? If you put a spin on it, your brain is looking for confirmation. If you're angry, your brain's like, okay, let me find more things to be angry about.
Yeah.
If you're happy, it's going to be like, fine. It is the original algorithm.
Yeah.
Your brain is the original algorithm, and it's curating, just like your Instagram feed does, puppies or big booty Latins. I don't know, whichever one you like, hot dogs, whatever. It's going to curate.
It sure the fuck will, Joe.
See.
It sure the fuck will, Joe. You'll play that thing over and over in your head all day long. You sure the fuck will.
This is why I'm writing the book, God's a Programmer. We are nothing more than a set of programs, and either we tap into being an expert of using the program, or we continue writing our life in font 10, numero uno, or whatever it's called, Roman numeral, 10, font 10, single space, boring, misspelled words,
yeah,
uncorrected sentences, paragraphs that don't make any sense. Or we get up there and we do some freaking cool shit on the things that are above us.
Are you
that
going to
are already set?
Are you going to be Microsoft Paint or are you going to be Adobe Photoshop? Which one you going to be, man?
Which one you going to be? Are you going to add the AI extension to your Word?
Yeah.
Your PowerPoint extension?
Talk to me.
Are you going to use the tools that are put here for us?
It's the algorithm.
Because this is the thing. There are bad people that understand the rules and they get what they want.
They get what they fucking
and
want.
They have lived and died and they go off and they go back into the sea of souls, the singularity.
Wherever they go. Wherever they
go. Never mind. We're not going to get on the tangent of the religious aspect of like, well, they're not going to get a mansion in heaven. Well, neither are you. Let's be real. I'm just joking. But this is heaven on earth. Make it for what you want it to be because our Creator gave us the tools.
Yeah.
To do so.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, you bro, the fact that it's again, we always joke about God being a programmer, but using the idea of like social media and the algorithm being programmed to what you like or what you're searching after, it's the same thing in our minds.
It's the same.
If I'm replaying the same thing over and over and over, like I hear people like Kanye West. People can again love him or hate him, but I go back and listen to his music and I hear the words. And this dude, for the lack of a better term, 25 years ago was prophesying where he is now. Like the money that he has, the fame, the fortune, like he was talking about that shit before he even had 2 pennies to rub to fucking together. Like that, he was saying, this is who I am. This is the life that, before he had any of that stuff. And now what we are seeing is the realization of an algorithm that he played over and over and over and over in his mind before anything in the natural even looked anything remotely like what he was saying.
Brandon, everything in my life, in my adult life, once I realized that all I have to do is speak into existence what I want out of my life, it happens.
Yeah.
It may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen for a week, but it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
I said, I'm going to come in from offshore.
You did say
I'm not going to travel anymore.
You did.
I will be in a position of a higher position in this company by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And what happened?
All of it. All of it.
I said, I want to put a coffee shop in Wood Forest called something. I want to do something good for the community. Within 6 months, a coffee shop's being built. No more than 2 weeks after I said that, do you know what I did? And this is the important aspect. It's not Think and Grow Rich. Like I love that book. That's a great book.
Think and Do.
Think and Do. It's think, do, and talk about it.
Yeah. You got to put it out there.
Do you know speaking about it to your friends when you're having a conversation? If we knew each other then, Brandon, I'd have been like, you know what I want to do, man? I want to open a coffee shop. I really do. I think it'd be great for this community. I see, talk about your vision. Speak into existence, into people. Do you know that I met a gentleman that owned a little coffee trailer at the exact time that I needed to? And you know what I did? He came into a Chick-fil-A. I was at a Bible study because just moved in the community. I'm at a Bible study at 5 a.m. in the morning. He comes in to get Chick-fil-A to sell at his trailer, selling chicken nuggets, chicken biscuits. He walked over to the table. He said, man, it's so good to see men getting together in this way.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. Can I take a picture of you guys? And he says, I'm Jeff. I own a coffee trailer. If y'all ever need me, here's my card. He put his card down on the table. I picked that card up. When I left that Bible study, I called him. I said, hey, Jeff, I was just at that Bible study. I want to talk to you. Well, come meet me. Met him. Bought into his company for very, very little, learned a lot, was put in a meeting with other investors to then open a brick and mortar within 6 months.
Yeah.
It's putting yourself in a position to just take the steps, keep opening the doors, keep talking about it, keep saying it. And it will happen. It will happen. Because as you talk about it, you're reinforcing to yourself the steps to do it,
Well,
to take the steps forward to make it happen.
You're doing what Terrence was talking about. He's like, when you're outside and you feel the wind, he said you don't see the wind, but it's there. He said, but if you put it under different circumstances,
exactly,
then you'll see it in a different way. And it's no different than you saying it was in your mind and you talked about it, and then here's the brick and mortar. These are the same things, whether it was in your head or whether it was coming out of your mouth, or now here is a brick and mortar. It's the same substance, just in a different different manifestation of the same thing. It doesn't matter. And so I mean, it's just
large
great.
or small, insignificant things.
Yeah,
not insignificant, but small. Something I used to do when I first became single after my divorce, I would say it to myself, and I would even talk out loud to the mirror. I'm going to meet some good friends tonight. Yeah. I'm going to make quality friends tonight. And every night I met friends. Mm-hmm. Are they all my friends to this day? No. Are they acquaintances? Yes. But did I make lifelong lasting friends?
Yeah.
Yes. When I wanted to find a person to build my life with, I said, these are the things I want. I spoke them out into existence, and I found the most amazing person in the world to spend the rest of my life with. And every day I wake up and I say, what can I do for you today? Is there anything I can do for you? Thank you for doing the mundane things. Thank you for doing the laundry. Thank you for doing the dishes. Thank you for picking that up for me.
Thank you for just being here and accepting me for me. Thank you thank you for allowing me to be and to do and to exist the way that I am without trying to modify me and customize me and change me and do this. Like the reason you do so much for her is because she allows you to be you 1,000% in every form that you come, whether you're pissed off right here or whether this stresses you out or whether you're super happy right here. She allows you to function as you, period.
That's right.
And that makes it different. That makes I remember the day that you came, the day that your job, well, not the day that your job changed, but the day that I remember when it was not maybe a couple of days from the time you got the information, you walked through the threshold of Como.
Mm-hmm.
And you said,
remind me of this. Okay.
I'm telling you, bro, I get chills when I think about it. You walked it and you said, hey, I don't have to go offshore anymore like I was having to. And then you're like, and here's how much more that I'm going to be making, yada, 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 yada. But I remember you had been talking about that for like at least to me, because we hadn't known each other for that long, but you had been talking about that for almost a year to me. And then I remember the day you walked in the club and said, hey, this happened.
This happened.
And here, I mean, now we're 2 years past that.
Yeah.
But I remember when you were just talking about it.
I went through 4 interviews before the 5th one.
Yeah.
They were lower ranking in the company.
Yeah.
And instead of like, crap, I didn't get it. All right, that's whatever. I said, okay, well, what am I going to learn from this?
Yeah.
And I said, hey, give me my scorecard. Tell me how I did. I set up meetings with the interviewer.
Yeah.
And I said, tell me how I did and what could I have done differently? What didn't I show you in myself to get this position? And they were transparent because it's a great company. There's nothing hidden when it comes to your progression and who you are as an employee. And I love BP. I've been with them. This is my 12th year. And they have been phenomenal through trials of my life with my parents dying,
divorce,
kids being born. I mean, just how they are as a company and how they structure let's be real, the love and the commitment to employees and the work-life balance is beyond any company I have ever heard of.
Yeah.
As an organization. So we're not being sponsored by BP, but I do work for them. And I don't know. I won't leave them for nothing.
Sure.
In the sense of like, I won't leave them for another dollar.
Yeah.
I won't leave them for this opportunity that may give me a little bit more in the short term, because the long term and the past means so much more.
Absolutely.
I'm committed to this company.
Absolutely.
And it really matters on how people in your life are the same way. Friendships, relationships, it's the same concept. Don't forget what you've been through together.
Yeah.
For the moment that you may not enjoy.
Yeah.
Preach.
No, yeah, no, you bro, it's crazy how Paul in the scripture, sorry guys, I'm always referencing the scripture, I can't get away from it. But Paul in the scripture, he told Timothy, he said, my prayer for you, and I think this is applicable across so many different mediums. He said, my prayer for you, he said, my fear is that just like the serpent fooled Eve, that you would be led astray from the simplicity that is in Christ. Now, of course, he's talking about, the Christian faith and yada, yada, whatever. But the point of that is that everything in its form is so simplistic, and it's trials and tribulations that come and complicate things. But the reality is that, like, you didn't do anything that was complicated. What you did was you had a focus, you had an intention, you had a goal, and you kept your mind in a place of, I'm not going to respond to these external forces that say, I don't care if they told me no four fucking times. I'm not going to respond to that. I know what the reality is that I have in my mind. That's simple. That's simple shit. But we come in and we complicate it because we allow, like Terrence said, we're fooled by our senses and the things that we can see and feel and touch and hear and all of those. Did you remember whenever he said, he was talking about the book that he read, and the guy was headed back home, and he's like, I know I'm on the right path whenever I see the mountain in the distance. And so the eye saw it, and he's like, I see the mountain, I know I'm on the right path. But the ears couldn't see what the eye saw, and the mouth couldn't taste what the eyes had seen, and the hands could. And so they convinced themselves that something was wrong with the fucking eyes because they couldn't comprehend what the fucking eyes were seeing. It's just so simple. I'm telling you, I've watched you walk through so many things in the short amount of time that I have known you, and you have just bulldozed through all of those things. And I think it's just a matter of this. Not that you get everything, not that we get everything right, not that we don't succumb to our feelings and our emotions and all of that shit. I mean, you've seen me go through, just some shit.
Yeah.
But when it's all said and done, like, at some point you gotta, like, just shake your fucking self off and say, no, I'm bigger than these circumstances. I'm better than these circumstances, and I have to get through this, or or die. Like, I have to fucking get through it. So I might as well just go ahead and fucking get through it and have a positive outlook about it while I'm getting fucking through it. It's got to get done. It's got to fucking get done.
Yeah, it's such a benefit that I've been in contact and engaged with people, and in books and this world of podcasts, and to the point of understanding how to allow yourself to feel the feelings, but don't let them own you, and allow them to move on and accept it for what it is, because you can't change it. Can't change it. Accept that happened. Now what's next? Use your mind as a tool on the next things, but don't let it affect the moment. And I'm not saying I'm a master at it, but I definitely can. I can respond to, like, hey, man, I was not accurate in that moment, and I felt those emotions, and I let them out, which is fine, maybe to someone, or I let my ego take it. It's that awareness of those things, when they happen, and to let them go. What did Buddha say? He said, "You're not enlightened," because he was asked, "When do you know you're enlightened?" He says, "You know you're enlightened when you and I'm paraphrasing, when you recognize you're not enlightened.
Yeah.
Or you're not in the moment.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the awareness to be like, this movie's not my life.
Yeah.
I'm sucked in. I'm crying because of the movie, but whoa, I gave over senses. I gave myself over
I'm
to
in
this
somebody
show.
else's program right now.
I'm in their program. That's not me. When you're enlightened, and I know that's a catchy phrase, but it's that same effect. It's like once you click out of it, you're like, man, I let my ego, and then you can recognize it and then admit to that.
Yeah.
That is the power of being enlightened.
Yeah.
To understanding who you are as a human being. And that's when you can let those things go.
Yeah.
And not let them affect you. And be like, hey, yeah, that happened. Yeah, I got sued. Or, yeah, I lost that. I lost it. I got in a wreck. Okay, what's next? Well, I'm happy. I'm healthy.
Yeah.
And nobody was hurt in the whole wreck.
Yeah.
Being grateful for the things that you do have in it. Man, that's such a power. Such a power.
It is, man.
I don't know where I'd be. I don't know where I'd be as a human being if I didn't connect those dots to get to the point to separate myself from the ego in a way that it still comes in. I ain't gonna lie.
Sure.
My ego taps in.
Yeah.
I've died to my ego a few times, but you got to keep killing it.
Yeah.
You got to keep killing the ego.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan says this. He goes, someone said, man, how do you do the cold plunge every day? And he goes, I fucking hate it. Do you know what I say to myself? When my ego, my inner self says, oh, you don't have to do it. It's fine. You did it yesterday. Shut the fuck up.
Stop. Don't compromise.
Get your ass in that water.
Yeah.
Which leads me into this, if you don't mind me shifting it here.
Talk it.
We joined a little country club, which is amazing here in Houston. It was owned by Mattress Mac. It went to his wife during the divorce. So she runs it now. I mean, it's like a zoo. It's a Dave and Buster's with tennis courts. It's a lazy river. It's got a lot of shit. The gym, we went on Sunday, just me and Jess. We have no kids this weekend. So we go to the gym. Had an amazing workout. Some really engaging, high quality machines. So kudos to their machines. But I've done cold plunges, but I haven't done a 50 degrees cold plunge. Okay. I've only done like the resort cold plunges.
Sure.
In the spas.
Sure.
Those are like 60 something. Like that's a joke compared. So I go to the sauna. I come back, get my shorts. I go to the cold plunge. I got in the jacuzzi first, waiting for Jess to come in. I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go. I'm going to do 2 minutes. I set my watch. Dude, I walk over to this cold plunge. I step my foot in. And my body said, get the fuck out of this water. And it was up to my ankle. And I was like, oh, this is going to be brutal. I then just took a leap forward in 50-degree water. And I sat there and immediately hyperventilating. Jess is like, you okay? I'm huffing and puffing. And I'm like, all right, I can't talk. I was like, I can't talk. And just focus on my breathing. Curl up in a little ball, look at my watch, and I'm just like, that was 10 seconds. I got 1 minute and 40 seconds left. And I just sit there. Focus on the breathing. Immediately made 2 minutes. After a minute, you start getting numb. I get out. My body's tingling. I'm probably 15 pounds lighter in how I feel. I jump back into the jacuzzi. Jess goes in for her amount of time that she did, which was a little shorter, but she was like, she didn't set her timer. So she didn't have like something that she was like, I'm going to do this. So she got in, she did something, and she got out.
Yeah.
We went and got dressed, dude. And when I tell you, we went to lunch right after that, right up to the club. We were high.
Yeah.
We were on another level. And you know Jess.
Yeah.
She's not like a person that's over enthusiastic about like,
Jess is she's pretty even kill.
She's pretty even kill. And she's like, I don't understand medically why I feel so amazing. what is it? Waiting on our food. I'm like, look it up. Look the benefits up. And do you know what happens when you jump in a cold plunge and your body goes into that cold water?
I've heard people talk about it. Yeah.
All right. I'll hit some highlights here. Number one, it initiates your fight or flight, because in that it says, holy shit, you're about to die soon.
Yeah.
You're going to go into hypothermia and you will not make it. Get out of here. So what it does is it releases endorphins, and it also releases adrenaline, okay, into your bloodstreams.
Sure.
It releases these two things mainly.
Mm-hmm.
Once that happens, your body is still now telling you to get out. But if you can overcome that and stay in it, when you get out, you're not dead. But now those two elements are released in your body.
Yeah.
So what do?
Yeah.
We're not doing the fight or flight anymore. We're just living.
Yeah.
And those two things, adrenaline, makes you feel a sense of euphoria for hours. You have major benefits when it comes to cold plunges. Life expectancy goes up. Your healing of muscle increases. Your immune system goes up. Your ability to burn fat goes up. Stress levels go down.
Yeah.
Amazing benefit. And this is 1 to 2 times a week for 10 to 120 seconds.
Equal and opposite.
Sorry, 10 to 90 seconds. Equal and opposite.
Equal and opposite reactions is what you're having. You're putting yourself through so much shit, and there's so much positive that's being released as a result of you putting yourself in that seemingly negative and uncomfortable environment.
And then you go back to equilibrium, and you still have the benefits of the negative, which is a positive now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it stays with you for a really long time. Definitely. A transfer of energy, a negative and a positive. I never thought about it like that. I like how you said that. But man, can I say that like the rest of the day, I'm talking 10 hours, amazing feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Days after, still amazing.
Right.
I'm blown away. I'm going to do it every time I get to go to the gym now.
Well, what you
over there.
You know what I think you also did was you unlocked yourself to a truth that others would consider to be asinine or crazy. Like it's like most people are not going to go and jump into 50-degree water. That even sound just like most people aren't going to go on a all meat diet. Like it's but you just like you unlocked a truth, and then there's a reward to that, and like it just keeps you high because you're like, man, it's like scales have fallen from your eyes. It's like you've unveiled into a different reality of, oh man, this and to when you were saying that you were, it turns on your fight or flight, and your mind is like, I need to get out this water right now. It reminds me, there's a guy named Michael Singer. I don't know if I've said this on the podcast before, but he wrote a book called The Surrender Experiment. But this guy, Michael Singer, and he's actually about an hour from here, he founded the company that ultimately became WebMD. So it's a multi-billion-dollar company. But he talks about, he was talking to someone, this was when in his 20s, and he noticed that as he was talking, as he was listening to this person speak to him, his brain was having this conversation, like as this person was talking. And he was like, and the first time in his life, he realized that his brain was constantly making conclusions and having opinions and this on things that he didn't even fucking care about. But it was constantly talking, and it was at that moment that he finally said, why the fuck are you talking? Like, I don't even care about, I don't have an opinion about what this person is saying. Why the fuck are you constantly speaking on things that I don't even care about? And it goes back to what you're in that water and you're like, you need to get out of here because it's cold. But shut the fuck up for a moment. Like, I'm not going to die. I'm fine. Like there are people across the pond that are being blown up. I can sit in some fucking cold water for 2 fucking minutes. Shut the fuck up. bring that under subjection and say, I'm bigger than these thoughts that I just allow to run rampant in my goddamn head all day long. You brought them under subjection. Is what ultimately happened.
This is the same thing with anything in life. Before the Marine Corps, I don't think I ever heard the term pain is weakness leaving the body. And to subject yourself to some pain, for a short term, for a long term gain. This goes to being in the gym, taking a run, sacrificing something of yourself for someone else, someone you love, helping someone move when you don't really feel like it, but you know I'm going to sweat because it's damn hot. Driving across town at 2 a.m. in the morning to pick up a friend because they had a long night and they have no more money or they can't even comprehend how to call an Uber. Those are pains. But the sacrifice of feeling the pain, waking up for your kid at night to go cuddle them for the longer term gain. But we, like you said, our eyes deceive us. We don't see, our eyes and our ears, all of our senses deceive us. We don't see the benefit of the gym. We don't see the benefit of food choices immediately. So we tend to let it go. Because the sacrifice is too great for the long-term gain. And we should be looking at it oppositely. And once you connect your brain into who you are, you ever heard this term? When the little voice in your head speaks, if that's you speaking, who's listening? That obviously means that you are not your brain. If you can answer your brain, if you can answer your thoughts with an opposing view and do something that you tell yourself, maybe you shouldn't do that. It's not a devil and an angel sitting on your shoulder. It literally is your consciousness, your consciousness against your thoughts. Your thoughts is a program that is sitting there trying to manipulate you into survival in some way. Guard your heart. Well, wait, that's going to be too much. You don't need to do that. Well, you might get hurt. Well, you might not get that job. All of these things in our life, it's to protect yourself from the consequences of things that may or may not happen. And when you can tell it to shut the fuck up, you are two different things. You're not your mind. You're not your thoughts of like.
The mind should serve my purposes. I shouldn't be serving my mind's purposes. So, for instance, Jesus told them in the scriptures, he said, because they were mad because he healed somebody on the Sabbath. And he said, the man...
Is that a cross street of... What's that cross street? What's the Sabbath?
Oh, so sorry. So, I know, right?
Was it on the corner of the Sabbath and Kali Saloon?
He said,
the Sabbath in the Kali Saloon?
Let's just say it was on a Saturday. He's like, you shouldn't heal anybody on the Sabbath. And he says, he makes one of the most, I think, pivotal statements in Scripture. He says, the man was not made for the Sabbath. The Sabbath was made for the man. He was trying to change their mind. He's like, y'all are sitting here being dictated by a day, not realizing that this day is here to serve you, not you here to serve this fucking day.
Exactly.
And then I think ultimately what it comes down to, Scripture says, to whom much is given, much is required. And I think that's what it ultimately boils down to your point. How much am I willing to require of myself in order to have the life or the things, whether that's a relationship, whether it's money, whether it's my businesses, whatever it is, how much am I willing to require of not anybody fucking else, require of myself in order to obtain these things, and in order to obtain these muscles, in order to get rid of sleep apnea or whatever it is, how minute or how large it is, what are you willing? Because it's equal and opposite react.
It is.
What am I willing to give up in order to get? I can't, if you were handing me your keys right now, I can't grab your keys while holding on to mine. But I have got to let go of mine in order to get yours. There's always got to be a fucking exchange that is that is going on. The something for nothing literally doesn't exist. Somebody is paying, or something is paying for what is taking place in the moment, or in that time. And so bro, that's so good.
Dude, let's take it back to Terrence Howard. Now, I don't know if you spoke about this, but this is just from me. When you said all that, right at the end, I was thought, you're exactly right. There's nothing for free, and there's a conversion. You have to convert something into something.
Got to.
You burn something, it converts into a gas. Nothing goes away. It's only changed.
Yeah.
So everything has an exchange.
Yeah.
You exchange your time for something, you will reap something.
Yeah.
And if you stay on the path that leads you down the path you want to go, then your time is going to be rewarded with what you were after.
Yeah.
The opposite is if you go into drugs and you go down that path, then it will lead you to a point of addiction or other things. If you keep doing something in repetitiveness, you're going to get an outcome, whether good or bad.
Yeah.
And it just depends on you and what you decide to what are you going to put your focus into?
Yeah.
What are you going to exchange the calorie density of your body, the mindset, all the things in you to accomplish? I tell my kids this. There's nothing in this world for free. And they like to play this game because they'll say, well, love's for free. Hugs are free. I'm like, well, baby, you got to change. You have to burn calories to hug me. Well, I was born for free. Nope. Your mommy had to pay a price for you. She had to use her body to have you. Well, what about this? What about just love? Love, I love you, but you may hurt me someday. And I might hurt you someday. But you have to put effort into love. It's not unconditional. Because you have to love me no matter what I do, or I have to love you. You hurt my feelings and I still love you. But that's a price that is paid. Everything has a price. Well, I breathe. Nope, you're burning calories.
Yeah.
And they keep going and they keep going and they ask them questions. And it's fun. But I hope it gets to them that, like, everything's a price.
Everything.
Friendships are a price.
Everything. Yeah.
I had a really good friend that I've known for a few years reach out to me because I reached out to him. I was like, hey, bud, you should come to Houston. And he's like, oh, yeah, I have some free time. And then not long after, maybe a couple hours, he texts me. He's like, hey, man, I know this goes without saying, but I just want to tell you, like, I know I ghosted you for a little while as a friend, but I was going through some stuff. And I got embarrassed with where I was. But, man, you reached out to me. It's just like my buddy who's my buddy. And didn't say anything, didn't bring nothing up, didn't make me feel bad, like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
And you just made me feel amazing. And we just rolled right back into this. I just want to thank you so much for being who you are.
Yeah.
And it just touched my heart, man, to know that, like, I didn't know what he was going through because he wasn't telling me.
Sure.
But I still love the dude. And my response was, our friendship is not relied upon some type of rebuttal or a tit for tat or whatever it's called, a quid pro quo of a friendship. Like, you're always going to be my boy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to make you feel bad. that's just not who I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick up right where we left off. And that just shows you, like, I don't, to me, that was like, I didn't have to pay negative back to him, from what his perception was of negative. In my mind, I'm just like, oh, he's busy. Okay. I don't think nothing's wrong.
Everybody's got
time and distance.
Everybody's got all kind of shit going on, man.
Why make it a thing when it don't have to be a thing?
When it don't have to be a fucking thing, man. When it doesn't have.
I know that's different in the subject, but it sparked my.
No, it's the same thing though, because here's the deal: you decided, and it probably wasn't even a big deal, but it was still a decision for you to say, okay, I'm going to reach out to him, even though I haven't heard from him. I don't know what's going on with him. Yada yada. I'm not going to be pissed off. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to swallow whatever negative emotions that I could have about it. That's a sacrifice. Yeah. That's a sacrifice. I'm going to swallow whatever negative emotions I'm going to have about it. And I'm just going to reach out. And as a result, the reaction is, oh man, I'm so glad that you reached out to me. I thought that you'd be upset with me. I thought that you would hate me. This is all of these things. Like the fruit of you making the decision to not be just emotional and an asshole about it. That's because on the flip side, if you were, that would not be the result.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I'm driving in the car and I hear a song. And the song sparked a process, a thought in my mind. And I'm being present with the song, and I'm like, something about being friendships and this and that. And I was like, man, I'm not being a good friend right now.
Yeah.
I haven't reached out to him in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And I go to text him, and then I say all that, and I'm like, hey man, I thought I was listening to a song and I thought about you. I just want to tell you I love you. You're awesome.
Yeah.
And what are you doing this weekend? You want to come to Houston? And then he said that, which then led me to go back up, and it was my text for months of me texting him over months of periods of time with no response. But I wasn't even thinking. And then I thought to myself in that initial moment, hey, I'm not being a good friend. I haven't texted this dude in a few weeks.
Yeah.
So it feels good to be at the place where I'm not saying I don't have judgment of people, but I think you can relate to this. Like, everybody has their shit.
Everybody's got their shit, bro.
No one owes me anything, in a sense of like, I don't know. I don't get caught up in you didn't text me back right away. I was messing with Josh, last week. Yeah, it takes him a minute to text me back.
It takes that motherfucker 6 months to text me.
But I still love him. And I'm not going to be like, I hold this against you and I'm never going to touch you again. That's childish.
Yeah. Yeah. Marie is such a feeler. Like she just, friendships and connections and all that stuff are so important to her. And, I've had to tell her, there's very few times where I get to teach her anything because she's so fucking smart. And she's
wonderful.
Yeah, she just fucking got it. But
let's get her on the podcast next week.
I know. We need to. But I told her, I said, babe, instead of thinking that these people are trying to avoid you or that they don't want to be your friend, I said, look how far negative we're taking this. I said, let's just stop for a second, and let's just talk about me and you. Think about all the shit me and you have going on just between us as a collective. Now, do you not think that it's possible that your friends whom you love dearly don't also have at least the same amount? Maybe not the same scenario, but in capacity and in impact, the same amount of shit going on in their lives as what we have going on in our lives. Like, you can't take that personally. And ultimately all those things ended up working out, and she saw it that way. But it's so easy to get into the negative mindset of anything, whether it's, oh, this, I haven't talked to this person in months, so I know we're not, whatever, or, my business might fail or my relationship might fail. It's so easy to get into, because like you said, that's our fight or flight. Our brain is programmed to do the easiest fucking thing that it thinks is the best thing for us to do in the moment, the path of least resistance. If my brain does not want to wake up at 7 a.m, and soon as, this is what I've had to start doing, as soon as I let the dog out, I put my ass in that living room and I start doing my goddamn workout on YouTube with my resistance bands. My brain doesn't want to fucking do that at all. It doesn't. I've never once woke up one time when my brain was like, we're going to go fucking work out. Never, not one fucking time. Not once. But you have to, again, I keep going back to that goddamn Terrence Howard thing, because
I know
he's made it so because he's removed religion, he's removed all that stuff out, and it's just like, no, listen, it's this simple: an action and a fucking reaction. It gives you control back over your life, Joel.
It does.
Because you realize that I can be somewhere totally different 6 months from now if I put the right action in the right direction. Period. Period. Point blank.
100%. Also, remember this, Brandon. Just like friends, we're a vessel.
Yeah.
And we're fucking full.
Yeah.
There's not one individual on this earth that's not 100% full vessel.
Yeah.
This whole thing, I have an empty space inside of me. No, you don't. People who want to say, like, some people that are lazy, you don't think lazy's something? You don't think people that just don't do nothing, or that's not, it's hard work to be large. It's hard work to be homeless.
It's a full-time job.
It's hard work not to do something.
Yeah.
It's a full damn job. We are 100% full. Everyone is full. Sleep is a thing. Work is a thing. Kids are a thing. Jobs are a thing. Friendships are a thing. Relationships are a thing. Everything in your life in a 24-hour predefined amount of time.
Yeah.
We made it up.
Yeah.
Circles around the freaking sun.
Yeah.
Or around the earth, one rotation of the earth. We made that up as a time of a day, right? We've defined that, and we are full every single day. We're full. We have to make the conscious decision to take things out as we add things.
Yeah.
If you make a decision and I make a decision, Brandon, you know what we do? We make a decision to be on the podcast together for 2 hours. What am I taking out? And in this moment, I'll be honest, I'm taking out time away from my person.
Me too.
Sitting on the couch.
She just got off work.
But the benefit of us, we have a person that says, I want you to do this because you love it.
Yeah.
And you're wanting to express some things and maybe build something here.
Yeah.
And build something here that could be something.
Yeah.
Big. They're getting quality alone time. Everybody's getting something.
Yeah.
Friendships are the same way. If we have to make a sacrifice, we have to weigh out the pros and cons, which we do. But a lot of people will go for the easiest path of resistance. It's the easiest thing. Oh, it's easier not to text them back after I didn't respond.
Ooh,
after a
man.
week.
Yeah.
It's so much easier not to say, hey, I'm sorry. I freaking been busy.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry. This apology, or hey, I do want to work out, so I'm going to sacrifice that time.
Yeah.
We do that. You replaced the ability to sleep in a little longer with the workout. And you said, this is important to me.
Yeah.
You're putting in the effort and you're seeing the results.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't happen instantaneously, but it took you falling into a union with an idea that you said, you know what? This could work for me.
Mm-hmm.
And you just continue to expel that out in your thoughts and in actual auditory, where you said, this is what I'm going to do. I find that to be a benefit for me. I say, if I want to hold myself accountable, I tell people I'm going to do something.
Yep.
And whether they remember it or not, I remember.
I know
I said it.
I know I fucking said it.
And I'm holding myself accountable
I
to
did it.
that saying it.
Yeah.
And that's a benefit that I use. Woo!
Yeah.
It's a damn good podcast. See, that's 2 hours, man.
I know, man. I could sit here and talk to you about it all day. It's so the thing where it says iron.
Episode 13.
The saying where it says iron sharpens iron. Like I really feel like I just every time I get off of here, I know we're talking to, hopefully one day millions of people, but I feel like you and I are the only people in this room, and I'm just having a conversation with you.
We don't hold back, man. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
We're having a conversation. And if someone wants to join the conversation and listening, then that's their prerogative.
Well, this is how we would talk on the telephone.
Hell yeah, we talk like this on the telephone.
That's what I'm saying. This is
we don't say anything different than we would say in person or on the telephone or any other way, man.
Yeah.
That's what I love about you, man. You're real.
I'm learning to be real.
And you know what? When I first thought about doing a podcast, I'm like, how am I going to be real? And I just said, okay, I'm going to be real. I just turned the switch on.
Yeah.
From day one of doing this, I have not had an issue with just being myself.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
It has helped me actually in my life and in the connective aspect of who I am as a person.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you for that too, because without you, I'd be talking to a freaking brick wall here and ranting. And that's where it's awkward. I've actually tried to do some like fake stuff, like just talking. And I just don't even know what to say sometimes because we do need each other. We need each other.
It's that energy. It's that
100%. And this is the thing. We're setting the foundation, man.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the archive aspect, this is not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have these 13 episodes posted.
Yep.
Forever.
Yep.
Until it ends, right? These episodes will be able to be found.
Yeah.
These videos will be able to be found. So as we continue, we'll just be able to go back and people will be able to go back and say, what was happening in the beginning? Where did they go? Where are they now?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's powerful, man.
I'm with it.
That's really powerful.
I'm with it.
Because you can't start here. You have to start here. You got to start where you are.
Fucking
period.
Terrence had said, he said, my uncle said, flowers don't grow unless you throw a little shit on it.
We throwing some shit.
You got to throw some shit on it, man.
You got to throw some shit on it, man.
Throw some goddamn shit. I
love this.
Yeah, man. All day. All day.
All day.
All day.
All right, people. All right, Post-Nut Clarity Nation.
Do you guys feel like you have post-nut clarity and not pre-nut what was it? Pre-nut delusion?
Pre-nut delusion. I hope we broke through. We came through for you tonight.
This was not a premature
No. Yeah. This is very much post coming through podcast. We appreciate you all. We will have a poll for the most handsome president. I'm gonna put up Bill Clinton or Ronald Reagan. Okay, Bill Clinton or Ronald Reagan. And if you've lasted this long in the podcast for 2 hours, you're a super listener, and I'd love to hear from you. Please give us a review. And I'll tell you what, the first person who gives a review, because they would have to listen to this part, the first person who gives a review, we're going to bring you on.
Boom.
I don't care who you are.
I don't care who you are.
I don't care who you are, Donald Trump.
If you hate us, here's your chance.
It's even better.
Here's your chance.
Here's your chance. You want to come on? You can come sit in the studio, or we can VC you in. Anyone. The first review, you coming on the podcast. Till next time.
Till next time, guys.
Stay post-nut clarity.
I'll let you, boy.
Later.